Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadi Tamastu Mavit Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay, so try and share the screen. February 8th. Very good. And we'll just move this over there. Close this one down. Should be okay. Our first topic. As you could imagine, we're continuing with the Yoga Sutras. One second here. Oh. Okay. Chapter 1, verse 27. Om is his signifying sound. Commentary. From Vedic times, the pranava sound Om has named and embodied the divine. It has been used to draw Ishvara near, to give him presence in our consciousness through chanting the mantra Om. It stands at the beginning of many shlokas and mantras where it acknowledges God's presence, names him to our ear. Thus Ishvara, embodied in this cosmic sound, stands as the source and beginning of all things. Pranava Om is the root mantra and primal sound from which all creation issues forth. It is a sound, a mantra, a name, a sadhana, and a meditation. A quote from Gurudeva. This mantra is the essence of sound itself. Beautiful statement. Essence of sound itself. All sounds blended together in tone Om. Listen to the sum total of all the noises of a big city and you will hear the Om, as in a seashell or the ocean waves. Verse 28. Repeat it while contemplating its meaning. Patanjali gives us a yoga sadhana called Japa yoga in which a mantra is repeated as a form of meditation. Here the meditation is to explore the sound of Om and discover its meanings, of which there are more than one. The yogi can direct his meditation session on one meaning. One such meaning breaks down the sound into three, Ah, U, Here the Ah contains the physical instinctive energies, the U holds the intellectual, mental, and the brings in the divine superconscious. We find Om explained in the Mandukya Upanishad as standing for the whole universe and its parts, including past, present, and future. Within this simple syllable, the thoughtful, focused yogi can discover the all in all. And Gurudeva's quote. The letters A, U, when correctly chanted, transmute the instinctive to the intellectual, and the instinctive intellectual to the superconscious. Direct cognition will then be attained. Very direct statement. And some additional thoughts not in the book. In Gurudeva's cognizant ability, Om is given a number of verses and is the only mantra presented. Oh, it shows the similarity between Gurudeva's early writings and the Yoga Sutras. Verse 29. Then follows the attainment of inner consciousness, and also the elimination of obstacles. Commentary. The regular practice of chanting Om takes one into higher states of consciousness. As the very sound is holy and profound, it is capable, when voiced silently or aloud, of drawing the seeker closer to God within. As this proximity to Ishvara is perfected over time, the yogi becomes imbued with the divine, and the obstacles to spiritual progress mentioned in the next sutra are resolved and ultimately annihilated. Our quote from Gurudeva. The Om harmonizes the physical body with the mind and the mind with the intuitive nature. Here again we can see the great benefits of the mantra Om. It in itself is the ultimate psychiatrist. It in itself is the sound of the universe, the sound of a city in action, the sound of birth, the sound of death. Listen to the sounds any place, anywhere, blended together, and you will hear the Om. While listening, mentally say the sound Om and feel body, mind, and the godness within you blending as one. In both our 2018 and 2026 editions of the online Master Course study, the daily chanting of Om is one of the basic practices. It is described as naturally leading into the practice of meditation. In the last one-third of the 2026 course, the one we're now using, we replace Om with the first two steps of Gurudeva's preparation for meditation. So Om actually does take you into the basics of meditation in the new course. Verse 30. The obstacles causing distraction to the mind are illness, apathy, doubt, carelessness, laziness, sensual indulgence, misapprehension, non-attainment of the stages, and instability. Comprehensive list there of what can discourage us, shall we say, from practicing. Commentary. In speaking of non-attachment of the stages, Patanjali means the failure to progress to the next level. Every meditator confronts some or all of Patanjali's lists of distractions to the inner work. These obstacles are present when an individual is uninspired or half-hearted about his or her yoga practice. While it is frequently true that efforts to attain higher consciousness focus on the goal, it is equally essential that the yogi focus on what is keeping him from that goal. In other words, overcoming the obstacles when they present themselves. Patanjali in his wisdom reminds us of the things we need to overcome. A great athlete or creative entrepreneur will work on weaknesses and impediments, eliminating them one by one, knowing that in their elimination lies the success sought. So I remember the story. If you haven't heard it, you'll enjoy it. Gurudeva, in his younger years, studied from a number of excellent dance teachers, and what he would say was he paid them to point out his mistakes. He didn't want to get praised. He wanted them to point out his mistakes, things that he couldn't see, and then he would correct them. So that's the same idea here. As a great athlete or creative entrepreneur will work on weaknesses. So we want to know our weaknesses and improve them. We don't want to be embarrassed by them and hide them. So it is with yoga and its attainments. There is great wisdom and courage in attending to the barriers before us with equal enthusiasm as we do the summits ahead. By working on our flawed nature and humanness, we unravel and reveal our true divinity. In the sutras coming up, Patanjali gives 8 practices for uplifting oneself to a higher state of consciousness in which the obstacles naturally fall away. And Gurudeva's quote, negative qualities are just congested masses of mind stuff that are temporary and do not allow the spirit to flow through. That's really a powerful statement. Negative qualities are just congested masses of mind stuff that are temporary and do not allow the spirit to flow through. If you have negative qualities as boulders in your mind, the spirit cannot flow through you, but as it tries to flow through you, it will automatically set a part of your mind out of control, and you will be emotional. You can't help it. So you must purify yourself. You purify yourself by being kind to others, being generous until it hurts, being benevolent, being ready to serve at all times until you are strained in serving. Put a smile on the faces of other people. Gain your happiness and your positive states of mind by making other people happy. That's a real simple statement, but so powerful. Gain your happiness and your positive states of mind by making other people happy. Meaning if we're unhappy, maybe we're not interacting and helping other people enough. Verse 31. Sorrow, dejection, trembling limbs, and disturbing breathing accompany distraction. Patanjali points out that the 9 distractions are often accompanied by negative states that affect the seeker emotionally, mentally, and even physically. Sage does not mention it, but it works the other way as well. As we live in higher states of joy, upliftment, and physical steadiness, all balanced by proper breathing, the obstacles diminish and life is positive. Gurudeva's quote. This is a good one. 4 Ds to remember. 4 words that begin with the letter D. Another instinctive response to the ebb and flow of life force is disappointment, which intensified becomes discouragement, depression, and despair. So that's the downhill slope of the 4 Ds. Disappointment, intensified becomes discouragement, depression, and despair. So we want to avoid that. These 3 negative states are obstacles to all human endeavor, especially for the spiritual seeker, who must learn early to regulate, control, and balance the emotional ups and downs so well that he never experiences discouragement. The second one, which is nothing more than an imbalance of force. Life tests and retests our emotional maturity. Whether we meet those tests or fail is entirely up to us. On the Saivite path, the Satguru gives the tests in order to mold and strengthen the seeker's character. Great strength of character is required to attain spiritual goals, enormous courage and forbearance. And anyone who lacks that strength and stamina will cease striving long before full realization is attained. Thank you, Gurudeva, for that great elucidation of disappointment, discouragement, depression, and despair. Verse 32. To counteract these, practice on a single principle. The word tattva here rendered as principle indicates the essential nature of something, its essence and fundamental being. Patanjali is directing the yogi who seeks to overcome distractions to practice and practice again one-pointedness on the fundamentals of the object of meditation. Such disciplined focus leads the mind deeper and deeper into the reality of that thing, which it turns out is the reality of all things. And a beautiful quote from Gurudeva. The fourth step comes as we plunge awareness into the essence, the center of this energy in the head and spine. This requires great discipline and exacting control to bring awareness to the point of being aware of itself. Sorry, I lost the slide there. Verse 33. Cultivating friendliness toward the joyful, compassionate toward the sorrowful, delight toward the virtuous, and mindful detachment toward the unrighteous engenders mental serenity. Oh, this is in how we can interact with other people in a way that engenders mental serenity. Many seek to calm the mind, but have neither knowledge nor tools to do so. Here the great yogi gives 4 keys, simple attitudes to guide our interactions with others in such a way that we ourselves live in constant serenity. Instead of jealousy toward those who live in happiness, he proposes friendship. Instead of sadness upon encountering the suffering, he offers compassion, a higher state. Instead of judgment of those more virtuous, he recommends celebration. And with regard to the low-minded, he proposes we ignore them. Such responses to others have the power to change our interactions with people and strengthen our own centeredness. Patanjali is also leading up to a series of 7 sutras, each providing a sadhana practice that helps eliminate or ameliorate the 9 distractions. Each of the following sutras begins with this word or, implying the seeker can select among them, choosing those that are most effective or most easily undertaken. And Gurudeva's quote, compassion is the outgrowth of being forgiving. It is the outgrowth of truthfulness and of non-injury. It is a product of asteya or brahmacharya and of kshama. It is, in fact, higher consciousness based in the Vishuddha chakra of divine love. One can't command compassion. Before compassion comes love. Compassion is the outgrowth of love. Love is the outgrowth of understanding. Understanding is the outgrowth of reason. One must have sufficient memory to remember the various points of reason, and enough willpower to follow them through to be able to psychically look into the core of existence to gain the reverence for all life, all living organisms, animate or inanimate. That's nicely said. Huh? Reverence for all life, all living organisms. Compassion is a very advanced spiritual quality. When you see it exhibited in someone, you know he or she is very advanced spiritually, probably an old soul. It really can't be taught. And our second topic, path to Shiva, to lesson 19. What is the nature of life for Saivites? How would you answer that question? All people seek the same things in life. They want to be happy and secure, loved and appreciated, creative and useful. Saivism has a rich and general culture that fulfills these human wants. It has profound teachings that help us understand the world and our place in it. It gives guidance in the refined qualities of character so necessary in spiritual life. how to be patient, kind, tolerant, humble, hardworking, and devoted. Saivism centers around the home and the temple. Monastic life is its core and power. Family life is strong and precious. Mother and father are a child's first gurus. There they are. Saivism possesses a wealth of art and architecture. It has beautiful traditions of music, art, drama, and dance. It has a treasury of philosophy and scholarship. Saivite temples provide worship services daily. They are sacred places where devotees find peace and closeness with God. Festivals are fun for the whole family. Scriptures help us to know ourselves, live a good life, and love God. Our holy men and women teach us yoga and ways of worship. They inspire us in everything we do and give us daily sadhana, which are our spiritual studies and disciplines. Performing sadhana helps us control our instinctive impulses and live a pure and happy life. To the Saivite Hindu, all of life is sacred. All of life is religion. The Saivite art is sacred art. Saivite music is devotional music, and the Saivite's business is not only his livelihood, it is his service to man and God. You are so fortunate to be a Saivite Hindu. Stand strong for Saivism. Yes, so the slide is disconnected from the text there. And our third and last topic, questions sent in to satsang@hindu.org. We can always use more questions. What are Gurudeva's teachings on learning about past lives through hypnosis or past life readings? How would you answer that question? An interesting question. We normally don't talk about that area. Gurudeva taught that we are the sum total of all of our past lives right now. If we learn details of our past lives, it is not at all helpful in our current spiritual pursuits. In fact, it can be a deterrent if, for example, we learn we were an important person in our past, or a psychic tells us we were and it wasn't really true, and that new knowledge simply strengthens our current personal ego. I was this great person in the past, thus giving us more to overcome to make spiritual progress. So it can actually be a negative. Learning about your past life and being someone famous can set you back, cause you to have to work harder to overcome pride. So we don't want to do that. So everything we need to know from our past lives, we know, we just don't know where it comes from. But all the lessons we learned from our past lives, all the benefits of the sadhana we did, we have them with us right now. But we just can't identify where each one came from. And we don't need to. Very distracting. What are Gurudeva's teachings on the use of powerful psychedelic drugs for the purpose of getting a glimpse of the oneness of all or of another dimension? How would you answer that question? So this is a specific kind of drug, not drugs in general. Powerful psychedelic drug. Gurudeva was against their use and explain why. He found that for certain individuals, it would open their minds up in a permanent way, making them too sensitive, for example, to other people's thoughts, and be a problem in their daily functioning. So imagine if you were working in an office and you were aware of what everyone was thinking. Whoa. So it makes you function less effectively in the office. You're just kind of overwhelmed by what other people's thoughts are, which you previously weren't aware of. So that's just an example of how it can make you too sensitive and less able to function in the world, which is necessary to be able to function in the world, unless you're a monk. For other people, it would pull them out of their natural dharmic pattern for this life, cause a detour. For example, if someone was studying marketing at a business college, he would drop out, live in a drug subculture for a number of years, and then end up returning to the study of marketing. It caused a detour in his life and probably some added difficulties in trying to enter the business world at an older age. So Gurudeva saw that in a number of people. It takes 5 or 10 years out of their life, and then they end up going back exactly where they were. No benefit at all. So thank you very much. Oh.